We've been here for the last couple of days. I'd never been to Australia before. I'd never been to Australia before that. Can you speak French as well as Tom does? My father doesn't let me drive his car. The rain has finally stopped. I thought that it tasted good. I thought it tasted good. Iron isn't as valuable as gold. It seems that Tom wants to become a teacher. It seems Tom wants to become a teacher. It seems Tom wants to be a teacher. Nothing Tom said made any sense. Nothing that Tom said made any sense. Get rid of all this stuff. What's the best gift you've ever been given? Tom was the one who told Mary that. Tom's back hurts. When are you going to get there? Tom's father spanked Tom. All of this has to change. We pitched our tent. Laughter and tears often go together. Mary had 3 dolls on her bed. Tom can't hear very well. Who do you trust most? Tell me 3 things you can't do well. I've found a new way to get to school. I don't know when the concert's going to start. I'm beginning to suspect that Tom was the one who did this. Tom and I had a lot of fun together when we were kids. What days of the week does Tom come here? You guys have never been to Europe, have you? This place brings back many memories of my childhood. This place reminds me of my childhood. Tom hates kids. Parents don't always know what their children are doing. It would be a shame if we couldn't do that. I have a bad stomachache. My stomach really hurts. Are you Tom's son? We weren't able to close the deal. You should wear something warm. Wear something comfortable. You can't believe a word Tom says. We were wrong to refuse Tom's help. Nobody seems to be afraid of me. No one seems to be afraid of me. I think that I agree with all of that. I have a sister who's pretty good at tennis. Maybe you should get a bicycle. Do you know why Tom gave Mary that? Do you know why Tom gave that to Mary? Do you think that it'll rain tomorrow? Is this the best that we can hope for? Do you mean that you want me to leave? There's nothing that I can do about that. They say that it's going to take time. The teacher said I'm a smart kid. I was convinced I was right. I don't often listen to music at home. Tom watched TV. Of course I'll do my best. It was stupid to do that. The robber was never caught. Can we help Tom? I'll try to finish doing that by tonight. Tom didn't know that would embarrass Mary. Tom didn't know that that would embarrass Mary. Mary's mother taught her how to knit. Threading a needle isn't easy. It won't be as easy as you think. Tom admitted he'd taken bribes. Tom admitted that he'd taken bribes. Tom isn't taller than Mary, and neither is John. Tom isn't Mary's boyfriend, and neither is John. Tom isn't taller than Mary, and John isn't either. Tom admitted he'd lied to Mary. Tom admitted that he'd lied to Mary. Mr. Jackson told Tom to pay attention. This isn't a safe place to be. The flower died because of lack of water. That was really disappointing. This is precisely what I wanted to avoid. This is what I wanted to avoid. People who live here know how to do that. There's no evidence that that ever happened. There isn't any evidence that that ever happened. That's something we must avoid. That's something we must avoid no matter what. That's something we must avoid at all costs. Tom went out for a run after dinner. It got dark, so Tom decided to go back home. Why do you want an empty shoebox? Tom looks much younger than you. My summer vacation is almost over. We still need to buy a lot of things. What time was it when you got home? The wind is whistling. Is Tom in love?